Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Dailey coming on for math. Today we're going to work on some patterns. First we're going to talk about different kinds of patterns with pictures, and then we'll move into number patterns and use our hundreds chart to find the pattern within the numbers. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And like I said, first we're going to talk about pictures. And if you are in my class, some of this may be familiar and review for you. If you're not in my class and you're just watching my videos, then this might be new material. So I'm going to make sure that we break it down and talk about it together just in case it's brand new for you. Okay. So a pattern is when you have something that repeats itself. So for example, in this first pattern, we have two different coins. We have a penny and then we have a nickel. So that penny nickel combination is going to keep repeating ourselves. So we have penny, nickel, penny, nickel, penny, and then we can make a prediction. We can guess what would come next based on what we see so far. So this type of pattern, let me go ahead and get my marker out, is called an A-B pattern because it is only two things switching. So this would be A, B, A, B, A, and what would come next if we had to guess? Yeah, B, right? So because it's an A-B pattern, I can always look at what the last letter is. So if the last letter is A, then I know my B comes next. So I look at my shape for the B and what coin is this for B? Very good. Yeah, it's a nickel. So if I needed to guess what came next, I could move my nickel all the way up to the top. Okay. So the first kind of pattern we have is A-B, where the letters are just switching between A and B, okay? So this pattern here is also an A-B pattern. If I were to get my marker, I could see that the dime is my first in my pattern, so that's my A, and then I have a quarter, and then I have a dime again, so I'm gonna use the same letter because it's the same shape. So A, B, A, B. What comes next? Good, an A and then a B, right? So what is my picture? What coin do I have for the letter A? A dime, very good. So if I were to move this up with your finger, can you touch the dime down here on the bottom? Very good. So I have a dime. Move it a little bit so we can see again. Okay, so dime was my first one, and then I said a B comes next. So what's my coin for B? What coin is this? Very good, it's a quarter. So if I were to go down with your finger, can you touch the picture of a quarter? Beautiful job. I'm gonna move it up a tiny bit. Or maybe I'm not. Okay. So you can see that my pattern continues. A, B, A, B. Okay. So that's one kind of pattern. Another kind of pattern we could have is where the pictures are more than one. So if you look at this next pattern, you have two dimes and then a penny. So I'm going to label each of my pictures with a letter. So my dime is the letter A, and I have another dime, so it's still going to be the letter A, okay? My new picture is a penny, so I'm going to give that new picture the next letter. So after A comes B. So I have, so far, I have two dimes and a penny, so it's A, A, B. What picture do I have next? Good, a dime, and I already labeled the dime. Dimes are what letter? An A, beautiful. So I have another A, and then this is a dime. Dimes are what letter? A, good job. So then what do you think is gonna come next? If I look at how my repeating shapes are going so far, I have dime, dime, penny. So it's an A, B pattern. A, what comes next? B, very good. And that just means that the shape that we gave the A to happens more than one time in a row. So it's 2 A's and then a B, 2 dimes and a penny. So let's read our pattern and see if we can make a prediction and guess what comes next. Dime, dime, penny. Dime, dime. Good, I have lots of friends at home saying penny. So with your finger at home, can you touch the picture of the penny down here? Beautiful job. All right. And then we have another type of pattern. Let me go ahead and clear this so we can see our pictures. So in this pattern, we're going to label our letters again. So the first one, we always start with the letter A, just like the alphabet starts with the letter A. And then, so my penny is an A. I have a new picture here. What picture is this? A dime. Very good. So it's a new picture from a penny, so it gets a new letter. So we have A, B, and then I have another new picture. So this is a quarter. Very good. I heard some of you saying quarter. So because it's another new picture, I need another new letter. So I'm going to have the letter C. And now I have a penny again. So what letter goes with my penny? An A. Very good. So this is what this pattern looks like. A, B, C. A, B, C. Penny, dime, quarter. Penny, what comes next? With your finger, can you touch the coin down here that you think comes next? Very good. A dime comes next. Beautiful job. Penny, dime, quarter. Penny, dime, what comes next? Beautiful job, the quarter. All right, I think you guys are starting to get it. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk about patterns with numbers, because numbers can also repeat themselves. And the easiest way to figure out how numbers are repeating is to use our handy dandy hundreds chart that Miss Dailey makes you use all the time, right? So what I want to do is I want to figure out what number is missing. My question says, what comes next? So I'm going to start by circling all of the numbers in my pattern so far. So I have the number 3. So on your hundreds chart at home, and I put a link for the hundreds chart in this video so you could download one at home. On your hundreds chart at home, you're going to circle the 3. And then what number comes next? 6. Very good. And I have a blank spot, so I'm going to come back to that. What number comes after the blank spot? 12. Very good. So I'm going to go to my 12 and circle that. Okay. And then my next one is a 15. Very good. I'm going to circle that. Okay. And then I have an 18. So I'm going to circle that one. Okay. So I circled all my numbers. Now I need to figure out what we are counting by, if my numbers are getting bigger or if they're getting smaller. And then I need to figure out how many I need to count to figure out this number that's missing. So let me make myself big so that you can see my hundreds chart a little bit better. Okay, so this is the number I started on, and this is the number I ended on. All right, so I like to put a little dot or a little coloring on the corner so that I know that's where I started, so I can tell if my numbers are getting bigger or if they're getting smaller. So are my numbers, here's where I started and here's where I ended, are they getting bigger or smaller? They're getting bigger, right? They're going up. So then I know that I am adding. I'm adding numbers onto my hundreds chart, okay? So now I need to know, how much am I adding? How many numbers am I going up each time? So the way to do that is to count how many places until you get to the next spot. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I start here, I'm going to count how many dots until I touch the next circle. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 there, okay? So I'm going to put a little 3 just to remind myself that that was 3, okay? So then I'm going to do the same thing between the next set of dots. Now I know that there is one missing here, so I'm not going to count between those ones. But I'm going to try these next 2 circles together. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to count how many spaces till I get to the next circle. 1, 2, 3. So there were 3 here as well. Okay, so I put my 3 just to remind myself. And then if I start here, I'm going to count 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 there. So how many am I adding by? Is the number staying the same? Yeah, right? I'm adding by 3 each time. Okay, so let me go back to my unique program so you can see what I see. And see that it gave us some coins that we could count to figure out that we were adding to 3. So this pattern, there's 3 pennies, and then 3 more is 6. So now I know that we figured out I need to add 3 more. So if I start at 6, I start at my 6 and I add 3. 1, 2, 3. What number am I landing on? Circle it so you can see it a little bit better. What number is that? Very good, a 9. It's a 9, and I am counting by 3s, so I want to find the 9 that has 3 pennies on it. So with your finger, let me scroll down so you can see. Oh, sorry, I was thinking the answers were on the bottom, but they are not. Okay. Can you find the 9 that has 3 pennies on it? So with your finger, can you touch the 9 that has 3 pennies on it? Beautiful job. All right, so I'm going to erase my hundreds chart so we can work on the next one. So the next problem, we are counting by 8s, right? Excuse me, I can see in the picture, let me zoom it in. I can see in the picture here there are 8 pennies, so I know I'm counting by 8s, but I'm going to start at the number 8. Okay, I'm going to start at the number 8, and I need to figure out what comes next, so I need to add 8 more, okay? So I start at 8 and then count 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What number did we land on? Beautiful job, 16. Okay, can you find the number 16, but it needs to have 8 pennies on it, not 4 pennies, okay, because we're counting by 8s. So can you find the 16 that has 8 pennies? Beautiful job. Yep, so this 16 and this 16, but I need the one that has 8 pennies, so I'm going to count the pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that one's not enough, so let me check the other one. Let's count the pennies together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful counting, guys. You got it. And we hear our ding, so we know we got it right. Now this problem had 2 numbers missing, so I found the 16. And then if I keep counting by 8s, I will get to the 24. Okay, and then I get to 32. But now I have another number missing, right? I have, if you look at my arrow, I have this gray box here, so I'm missing another number. So my numbers are getting bigger, so I know I'm adding, and how many do I need to add? Yeah, I need to add 8 pennies, right? So I'm going to start on 32, and we're going to add 8 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8, and what number did we land on? Yeah, we got 40, right? Beautiful job. So remember, we need the 40 that has 8 pennies on it. So with your finger, let me move it up so you can see. Can you touch the number 40? Beautiful job, guys.
40.
There it goes. All right. Our next one, we are counting by 4s. We're counting by 4s, and we're starting on the number 4. And are my numbers getting bigger, going up, adding, or are they getting smaller, subtracting? Yeah, they're getting bigger, right? All of our problems today, our numbers are getting bigger. So we're going to start on 4. So let me circle my 4. And I'm going to circle all 3 of these numbers because they're already there, and I know that they are in my pattern. So I have a 4, 8, and 12. Okay. So just to verify, if I wanted to make sure that I was counting by 4, even though the picture tells me that, I could start here and count how many until I get to the next circle. So I'm here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's check one more time. Ready? I'm here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beautiful. So I know my pattern is that I'm adding because my numbers are getting bigger, and I'm adding by 4. So I'm going to start where my last number was, and I'm going to add 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me circle it so that you can see it. And what number did I land on? Beautiful job, guys. 16. All right. Can you, with your finger, touch the number 16? 16. Very good. This one was tricky because we have 60 over here and we have 16. But we know we're counting by 4s and we want 16, a 1 and a 6 together. Beautiful counting. All right, this one we're counting by 10s, which is easy peasy because in a previous lesson, and if you didn't watch that lesson, that's okay, but we used our hundreds chart to label for skip counting. And I know, I'm gonna color really quick so you guys can see it, but I know that when I skip count by 10s, it's all the numbers that end in a 0, which means, I'm almost ready, it's all the numbers in this last column, right? So my pattern starts at 10, and then I go 20. What comes after 20? 30. Very good. So with your finger, can you touch the 30? Let me zoom it in because it's a little small for you guys. There we go. Can you touch the 30 with your finger? Beautiful job. And then if I keep going, so I started
30.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. What comes next? Beautiful. Yeah, 60. Great job. All right.
60.
So those are some patterns with numbers. How are we feeling about patterns with numbers? It's just like skip counting, except for we have to change our numbers a little bit. So thumbs up if I feel good. Thumbs to the side, I kind of get it. And thumbs down, I'm totally lost. Okay, that's okay. Let's move on to the next one. And this will be the last one we do today for practice. And then I'm going to tell you what you can do at home to practice patterns, okay? So if I look at this, I know I'm counting by what? What am I counting by? Yeah, I'm counting by 2s because there's a picture of $2. So I can fill that out down here already, right? Because if I look at my picture, I see there's 2 in there. So I'm going to type in the number 2 because we're counting by 2s. So we need to figure out what's missing, right? Let me erase my board. I could, on my hundreds chart, color in all my columns for counting by 2s, but I want to show you guys the strategy we've been practicing instead. So I'm going to start at the 2, and if I'm counting by 2s, that means I'm adding 2 because my numbers are getting bigger. So I'm just going to add 2. 1, 2, what number did I land on? Oops, sorry. 4, good job. So with your finger, can you guys touch the number 4? Beautiful job. All right, so I have my 4. So now I know my next number is 6, and my pattern is counting by 2s. So I start at the 6 and I count 2. 1, 2. What number did I land on? Beautiful job. And 8. All right. My next number is 10. So now I need to figure out what comes next, which means I start at the 10 and I add 2. Now remember, when we get to the end of our hundreds chart, we go all the way back over to the next line, okay? So 1 and 2. Circle it so you can see it a little bit better. What number did we land on? Beautiful job, 12. Are you noticing that our numbers are in order? Easy peasy, right? So my next number is 14. And then I need to count 2 more to figure out what's missing. So 1, 2. What number did I land on? 16. Beautiful. All right, my next number is 18. Let me go ahead and circle it. And now I need to figure out what comes next. So I'm going to add 2. 1 and 2. What number did I land on? Beautiful job, 20. And then my next number is 22. And I need to figure out what comes next. So I'm going to count 2. 1 and 2. What did I land on? Great job, you guys. Great counting. So patterns are easy, right? You just have to see what's repeating and keep repeating. So here's your job at home. Here's what I want you to practice at home. In your house, I want you to find something that you have a lot of. For example, you could use Legos that are different colors. You could use different fruits that you might have, like maybe an apple and then an orange. You could use some of your animals that you might have in your bed, but I want you to make a repeating pattern. So, for example, if you have lots of fruit snacks at home and they're all different colors, you could make a pattern that's green, red, green, red, green, red of your fruit snacks. Or you could even go outside and find different size rocks and make a pattern of big and small rocks, okay? There's lots of things that you could find in your house to create patterns. So I want you to practice that skill at home while you're working and enjoying some nature outside, because that's a good place to find things to make patterns, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I will see you next time. Bye.